Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. I am so happy that you are here with me today. This is a pop in wellness check. This is a wellness check. How's everyone doing? I hope that you are well. I hope that you are well. I wanted to come on and share with you. I know we're getting ready for some serious holiday hoopla and a holiday season. And I wanted to share with you and just do a wellness check with all of you to make sure that you are all okay, near and far. Because I know for some of us, and I'll put myself in this place with you today, I know that for some of us, it can be very tricky emotionally. It can be very, very tricky emotionally. And so I just wanted to share with you a couple of things that's on my heart and hoping that as I bask into the things of the holiday season, as you are basking into wherever you are and what you are trying to navigate through or get through or celebrate, I just wanted us to be together for a couple of minutes so that we could feel each other and know that we are not alone in what we are about to embark upon in these holiday seasons. And the holiday of the winter for the East Coast, and those of you who wherever you are, if you celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas, these two holidays are very significant and they magnify the loss of people that we've lost, either through them passing away or them leaving through an illness or divorce or whatever the situation is. Lost is lost. And so I wanted to pop on with you just for a few minutes to see if we can attach a couple of pointers and things for us to really be thinking about and really holding on to and setting down in for these next few months here on earth, right? And so we need to many times do what we need to do that makes ourselves comfortable, right? No one has the be all, do all for how you get through grief and how you recover from losing someone, no matter what type of loss it is. And the holidays really, they're supposed to be happy and wonderful. It's that time of the year, correct? You would say yes, right? And the greeting cards and, the singing, and you going into department stores or walking in the street, and you hear this music and it's joyful and filled with cheer. And you're struggling through it. You're putting on the face, but on inside, internally, you are struggling. And I know that feeling. I know it so well. And for many people, the holiday season is gloom and doom. It's dread. It's a deep sadness or a resurgence of something, of anxiety or grief or mental health issues. A lot goes on during this season. And there are many people who just breeze through it and don't even feel these type of dynamics in their life, right? Because some people have not lost significant loved ones, or they just manage it differently, and we're all wired differently, and so we manage things differently. And so sometimes we just don't know what to do or how to get through the season. We have avoidance. We just do a lot of things to avoid people. And I want you to know that it's okay to not be okay. I want you to know that you have, not have to, because I don't like using that word. We need to learn to manage ourselves and our emotions the best that we can. But it's always good when we can come to a place, a community, or a village and have some type of help where people understand like where you are and don't try to push you in a space that they're in. The consideration for where you are should always be present. And so, therapeutic counseling and therapeutic conversations help sometimes to talk about the therapeutic piece of how we navigate through certain things. And, for me, I've gone through many, I say many deaths, and quite a few of them have been very, very close to me, very, very close to me. If you follow me, some of you know a lot about my history and what I've gone through in my life, and it's a lot that I haven't even shared, right? I haven't even shared yet. But I share as the spirit gives me the opportunity in terms of allowing me, like, okay, Sheila, talk about this today, or don't talk about that, right? And I don't mind exposing myself, because we all are human. We're all fighting, trying to get through this thing called life, and trying to do it with our sanity, and trying to move to a place called there. And so if you're like me and you're traveling always to a place called there, I want you to know that love is on the way, hope is on the way, and I'm here to chat with you just for a few minutes, because I know we're getting ready to hit Thanksgiving and Christmas here in the States. And so preparation for our emotional stability is important, for us to have a mindset and have a mental thought of what I want to do this year. How do I want to spend this year? Where do I want to be? And where don't I want to be? And again, it is okay to not be okay. And so I just wanted to briefly come on and share with you, because we're in it together, right? We're in this thing together. And so I know that a lot of people are taking breaks. People are doing their own thing. Families are traveling. Many elderly people are alone at home. Many, you don't have to be elderly. There are many people who are alone, right? Alone slash lonely. There is a difference between being lonely and alone, right? Nevertheless, that lone word is in there. So whether you're alone, right, these seasons still impact you in some type of way. We learn to mask a lot, right? We mask a lot. I'm okay. I've been doing this for 10 years and I'm good. I'm good. I don't need anyone, right? Or you just have this real spirit of heaviness and loneliness that tries to engulf you, and it becomes a depression, right? It becomes anxiety, and it becomes a space where it's just sad, right? And many things happen in this season. Many deleting goes on, whether you're young, old, middle age, a lot of deleting, because sometimes people just get tired of being lonely, or just get tired of being on this earth with all this havoc going on. And these holiday seasons cause different emotions for different people. Some of you have wonderful big families and will be traveling or at home, and people are coming to visit you. Some of you may be in a room, and although your family is huge and big and people are laughing and joking and talking, there's an empty seat at the table. So even when there are a lot of people around, that missing person, that lost love, the lost love that was so significant in your life, the seat is empty, and it causes an impact on the family. Although you manage it well, that seat still remains empty. And if you have not been able to learn how to, or the sting is still stinging, right? Because the sting does get dull, dull, dull. It gets duller as time goes on, never forgetting the person, never forgetting the persons. And it may be a divorce. This may be the first year that you're going to be alone, after being married, whether it's for 6 months, a year, or 30 years, or 20 years. The fact that that broken situation is like a band-aid. It's like you ripped a band-aid off of a sore, and the pain is there, and the wound is still open a bit. And so whatever the loss may be, you may have lost a young child. You may have lost a good friend. You may have had had it outs with a friend, or someone you never thought you guys would never part ways, and something happened in the relationship, and that person is no longer your ride or die, right? They're no longer there. And so loss happens on every level. The lost loves, right? How do we manage? Now, like I said, each of us deal with it on a different level. You may deal with it by being around people. Some may deal with it by not being around people. But what I don't want you to do is to fall into a deep depression. Do not fall into a deep depression. Let's talk about a couple of ways that might be able to help you think a different way, right? Because it's a matter of your thoughts, right? Rational and irrational thinking helps us to understand. Rational thinking puts us on a steadfast, solid ground. Irrational thinking causes us to not use the tools and the resources, and to think totally opposite, that I'll never be okay. Nobody loves me. No one will ever love me again. I will never be happy again. That's a type of irrational thinking, because we know that it is possible for someone to love you. It is possible, right? When you say no one loves me, one incident can happen to us as people, and because it was such a significant person that that did something to us, or we lost, or we think that they don't love us, whatever the scenario may be. Sometimes people tend to say, oh my God, no one loves me. And I tend to say, well, do you have family? Do you have a sister, a brother, or a friend? And they say yes. And I said, well, do they really show you love? Do they love you? And they say, yeah, they do. I says, okay, so let's stop saying no one loves me. Let's focus on that one particular person that maybe have hurt you or that have left you, so that we can kind of channel our way, right? Canoe our way. We have to canoe our way through it. Sometimes we get tired of canoeing, right? Our arms get tired and we just drop. We just drop and just sit in the river, in the boat, in the canoe, and just think and look and look and look, right? And don't know how we're going to get to the other side. So, how do you help? How do I help? And how do we help grieving friends and family in the holidays? Let me help you with a couple of things before I leave you. I did not want to come on during this season and leave you without some type of information from the counseling corner, because I do care about you. Even if I don't know you, I know you're living, and I know life keeps lifing. And if that's the case, then we know that we all go through the similar or same situations, but it's how we manage it, how we internalize it, how we think about it is how we might possibly get through it, right? And there is another side. There's a place called there that we're all trying to get to on so many dynamics of our lives, so many layers of our lives. But today, we're not going to deal with all the layers, right? We're just going to put them on the side, just put them on the side. Put them on the side for a little while, and let's just focus on this holiday season and what we might be able to do to get through it, because grief is hard. It is hard any time of the year, not just the holiday season, but the holidays feel particularly heavy and brutal, right? I know for me, listen, I'm in that boat with you. And grieving people would love your help and love my help by being able to get what we can get, and we can what? Pass it on. I can't take you where I haven't been. I can't give you such as I have if I don't open my mouth and be able to give it to you. I'm not going to hold it to myself, because I know that someone out there needs to hear this today. So I want you to understand that we're going to go through a couple of pointers right here, so that we'll be able to kind of even reflect on it on the day that is approaching us, or the days that is approaching us, or right now today. So understand that it's okay for a person, for you and I, to be sad. It is even during the holidays. Sadness is healthy. It really is, because it gives you to identify that place where you are. When you can't put a finger or a word on what you're feeling, then we got to work through some things to get to that space. But if you say, I'm sad, okay, you're sad, and it's okay to not be okay. Telling someone they shouldn't be sad, or that their person wouldn't want them to be sad. This person, we're talking about love lost, the lost love, right? Unhappy holidays. That's what we're talking about today. We want people to identify. I always say, if we don't identify it, we won't be able to crucify it. And if it's something that is, harboring and holding us captive on the inside, and it's causing havoc in our soul, then we need to crucify that thing. In terms of depression, we need to turn it and flip it. And it takes time, and it's a process. But as far as that emotion of feeling sad, or trying to cheer them up and tell them that they cannot be honest with where they are, they cannot be sad, you're telling them something that is not true. You're causing them to go deeper and deeper into a sadness, right? So we want to say right here, number one, that telling someone they shouldn't be sad, or that their person wouldn't want them to be sad, right? The person they're grieving, or trying to cheer them up, only tells them that they cannot be honest with you about how they're feeling. And we want an open door to be able to talk to people, and people to come and talk to us. So we have to be mindful of words and mindful of what we say to people, not what we want them to do, not what we want to say. We want to hear where they are. What space are they in, so they can feel like, I can bring this to you. I can talk to you. And this helps people not to suffer in silence. So let's check the foundation. The idea that you can make things better for someone, that you can make their holidays good, starts you off on the wrong foot and sets you up for failure. You're not going to be the one who shift them and move them. You're not going to be one to force them to feel what you feel or what you think they should feel. You cannot make holidays good. No one can, because this is a lost love. This is an emptiness that is feeling and filling up some space in a person. There's an empty seat at the table. So when you place your footing on the knowledge that nothing you can do can make things good, you're off to a much better start when you have that mindset. Because remember, you're trying to help someone through a difficult patch, right? So you have to be mindful of what you say, recognize and discern where this person is. Let the grieving person lead. This is so powerful. Let them lead what you're going to say to them. Let them, that means you have to and listen. You have to listen and see and watch and feel where a person is, even if they're not speaking with words. You might look at your friend, your family member, or whatever, and and think, oh, they can't be alone on the holidays and over the holidays. Well, the grieving person thinks, oh, I just want to be alone. I just want to be alone. I don't want to be around people. One of the reasons, because people keep trying to pry them out of a space. You okay? You okay? What do you need? Let's do this, let's do that. Sometimes you have to have such a discernment when you're dealing with people who have lost someone, whether they lost them years ago, yesterday, or a minute ago. We have to be so sensitive to people, right? So if you're concerned about them being alone over the holidays, just ask them. Just ask the simple question how they feel about being alone over the holidays, and then go from there. Let them bring the information to you. Let them say, I know for me, when I lost my husband, it was so many people bombarding me. It was so many people saying things like, I know what you're feeling. I know what you're going through. And silently inside of me, I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You've never lost your husband. No, you don't. No, you don't. But I understood the empathy. I understood. They were saying, Sheila, I feel for you. But we have to be careful of what we say to people if you haven't experienced or walked in the shoes that someone is presently in, right? So during the holidays and all at all times, let the grieving person lead. Let me hear you say that. Let the grieving person lead. Go ahead and let them lead, lead, lead. Yes. So here we have another thing that we can do. Don't criticize how they're handling the holidays. Don't go there and tell them about what you feel, how you feel, and criticize what they're responding to or not responding to. This place, this particular full stop right here, this place could really use some festive decorations. Oh, it should be really Christmassy in here. What? That would cheer you up if you just put a tree up, if you just put something, a wreath on your door. Listen to me. Even though you probably mean well, you mean well, I know you do. Unsolicited advice and criticizing how someone is handling the holidays feels terrible to a grieving person. It feels brutal. It feels terrible. The holidays are already difficult without people judging how you're doing or telling them they aren't being festive enough. Spruce up this place. Put this here, put this there. Listen, mind your business when it comes to that. Just mind your business. And at this particular time, your business is this person you're trying to deal with, trying to comfort, right? Go ahead and mind your business in that way. So then ask them what might feel good this season. Again, you're putting the ball in their court. You're asking them, well, what would you like to do? You ask them, questions that ask them that might, that might make them feel good this season. Like, what would you like to do? What is it that you think you want to do this year or this moment? Instead of assuming and guessing or telling a grieving person or persons what they might need or what should they do over the holidays, right? We need to be so sensitive to this. Listen, grief and loss is no joke. It's heavy. It's a weight. It is such a heavy, heavy, heavy weight. It feels like you're never going to feel normal again. It feels like your heart is going to always be in pain. It feels like you're never going to feel good again. It feels like that at that moment. And at that moment, that person believes that, right? So ask them what might feel good, or at least uh less bad. Like, how can I help you? Is it me? Can I stop doing something or say something to make you feel better? They may not have an answer. They may not be able to put a finger on what they're expressing, but being asked is always appreciated. Don't assume. Don't put your whole little thing inside of it. You may very well have the answer, but it may not be the right timing for that person for that particular answer, that later down the road, you might have the opportunity to offer that advice because time has passed and a different adjustment has been made in walking with this without this person or persons. Respect their answers always. Respect their answers. And again, watch your language. Please watch your language. The holidays are centered on gratitude and abundance, right? We know that. Reminding people to be grateful for the life they had or for things they still remain may seem like a helpful idea at the time. In keeping with the season, you may be saying, oh, this is a great time for us to be grateful and thankful. And yes, we know that. But really remember who you're talking to and who's in the midst of you, who's in your space, right? And this goes for groups of families who certain individual things have not happened to them directly, but one in the family or someone else, a distant family member, is in the room with you, and everyone's moving, moving, moving. And this one person feels like shrinking. They shrink back in the room. And then what happens? Even with a crowd of people around, they feel alone because people are not paying attention to them. Now, I'm not saying it's supposed to be gloom and doom, and this one person is supposed to put a whole dampener on side or inside of a festive situation. I'm just saying to be connexes and be conscious of the persons and persons in the room and where they are in their life at this particular time. What are they walking through? What are they sitting in? What are they feeling when they go home, when they just left home? Just pay attention. That's all I'm asking you to do. And it's okay if your grieving person doesn't feel grateful. Let a person be. God got them. Let a person do what they got to do in order to get to a place called there. And if this particular season is not the time where they have segued through a few steps, remember, it's a process to learn how to live without what? That loved one that was lost, the lost love. I said the lost love. That's powerful right there. So this can be such an unhappy holiday season for so many people. And that's why I decided to do it. So as I'm talking to you, I am preaching to the choir. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself. And even though you mean well, these statements are what? Backhanded judgments. I said a backhanded judgment that have a powerful impact. And I want us always to be conscious of how we treat people, what we say to people, and be on the same page with them. Again, they're not to control the environment. We're just supposed to be sensitive that that person is walking through this at this particular time, at this set time in their life. It may be you tomorrow. It may be you next holiday season, and you may need someone to have this kind of consideration for you. So instead, meet your grieving person exactly where they are. Mirror their reality back to them. So helpful. Now, once maybe you can do something. This is something where you could share a memory. When speaking with your grieving person, don't be afraid to share memories, because sometimes those memories cause laughter and joy, and you begin to laugh when you bring a particular topic or joke up that someone has said, and then the whole room starts. Remember when such and such said? Remember when we was cooking and they put the tomato sauce in the gravy? Remember, instead of the water? I mean, and jokes and things that can break up the feeling. Those things can happen within the conversation. So memories are good when speaking with people. And don't be afraid to share the memories about their person, because you might have had an awesome experience that they never even heard about. You may have had an awesome experience with this lost love that they never knew about. And as you share with them, listen, I want to tell you something. Let me tell you what happened this time when such and such was around. I think you was at work, but anyway, she did such and such, or he said such and such. And they look, all of a sudden, they'd be like, what? Tell me. So now they want to hear more about this moment they miss, but that they could cherish about this particular loved one. It's a beautiful way to reach out and connect. So always remember, sharing a memory that they may not have known about or know about can sometimes break the ice, and it would bring people present and to acknowledge the loss. Invite them out to things. Don't force, but you can get to a person, have a little chat in the corner, say, listen, let's have tea or lunch next week, blah, 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 because you know the setting that you're in is too many people, but that person will feel the warmth and the consideration. They'll feel that you're not poking and pushing. Invite them over. Invite them, let's have lunch on Monday. I really need to spend some more time with you, but don't force it. Invite your grieving person, right? To holiday events, maybe come with me to the lighting of a tree, come with me to the ice skating. Let's look at the tree, the lights, and it's all types of things. The community you live in and what you can do and can't do. But the point here is to invite, get them to be able to live again, pull them out so that they can feel some type of interaction with what's going on around them and outside of them, opposed to them in their home alone or lonely. Listen to me. Parties and other group events may feel daunting, so don't take them around crowds and where people know and everyone comes, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss. Don't do it. Don't do it. Be mindful of where you invite people. Be mindful that don't put them in a situation you're trying to take them out of in terms of their emotions. So invite them out for like a kind of like a low key type thing where you and that person can just chill, have coffee, lunch, and share and laugh a little. And remember that people with terminally ill loved ones are also grieving. The person can still be alive, but they are grieving. The person can still be alive. If you look on my channel, you find that we talked about this on one of the counseling corners, right? So people who are still with you, but they're dying slowly right in front of your eyes. This is deep. This is a deep one. Grief doesn't only start after someone leaves physically. Grief starts when it starts, right? It starts when that call comes, when that doctor report comes, when the Alzheimer's shows up. Oh my God. When all types of things happen to a person that's in your space or that you love, and you see them slipping away. That's a grieving process. People who have someone in their life who is terminally ill and also grieving. This is called anticipatory grief, right? They deserve to be cared for and treated gently too. It's difficult walking in this life and walking it out. I call it walking it out in shoe leather. There's certain things that your mama can't help you with, your daddy can't help you with, your family can't help you with. These are situations sometimes where we know that that support is around us, but this situation is a Sheila situation. And what do I have to do? I got to walk it out in shoe leather. And those times will come in your life when you have to walk it out in shoe leather because you're the immediate person in that space, in that time, in that situation. And you have to gird up. You have to gird up the strength, right? And you too have to be careful of your mental health because caregivers, oh my God, I've been a caregiver for years. And let me tell you, people forget about the caregiver. People say, oh, how's the ill person? Oh, how's such and such doing? How they're coming along? Oh, blah, blah, blah. They get phone calls. How's such and such? All the time, you're the one making it happen for that person. But rarely, I know for me and so many others, rarely does someone say, how you doing? Is there something I could do for you? So be mindful of where people are in their lives, right? Make concrete offers of support. Offer your company, invite them out, as I said. Show up, even for people who are stuck in the house taking care of a loved one who is still breathing but slipping away. Help them. Give them back some of their life, some pieces of their life that they had to lay down for their brother. Give them back some pieces by giving a piece of your life to help them deal with the situation and raise a toast. If you're in an environment it's okay to raise a toast to those who are not present and say their names. I know I make it my business as we're doing what we do, that we always talk about my mom. We talk about my dad. We talk about my husband that was murdered. We talk about, listen, I've had so many losses in my life, so many. I mean, so many. I mean, from a young girl up until, right? I've done so many funerals, right? For so many, I've eulogized so many people. I mean, back to back to back to back. For those of you that don't know, that I'm a pastor, right? And so I do funerals for folks that call and they need help. They need they need to talk. I need to go and share with them. I need to support them and see where they are and help them through the process of laying to rest their loved one. And sometimes families just don't know what to do. And so I'm just saying, death always knocks on the door, and it's constant, constant, constant. And I'm just trying to help us to understand and to get through some ways that we can, so that we can manage our mental a little better and our emotions. So letting them um do what they want to do is very, very important. Raise a toast, to their names. Just raise a toast. Acknowledging who is missing really helps. Acknowledging, calling their names. Say my name. Say that name. It's sad, but it's real. It's sad, but it's real. Acknowledging who's missing. Let your grieving person know that you have not forgotten. Although we're here celebrating, we have not. Wait, stop, pause, reflect, hold it. Let's raise a toast. Let's say a word of prayer. Let's have a moment of silence for a second. Don't get, it doesn't have to be morbid, but stopping and pausing allows that person to acknowledge they care. You care about me, how I'm feeling, and the person that I have lost. So letting them do that without trying to cheer them up or fix it is one of the best ways. It's a gift. Let's raise a toast. Let's just stop, pause, and reflect for a second for this incredible person who is no longer with us and that seat is empty. It helps the person that is really grieving, because people grieve differently. Some people get better in a year. Some people get better in 2 years, right? But I want you to don't stay stuck. I don't want you to stay stuck in depression. I don't want you to stay stuck where your life is over, because then it spins out of control. So I hope that some of these things that I'm saying is helping you. It's helping you. And you see going across the banner, if you need to chat a little bit, we can do a free consultation. We have therapists at nowyoutalking.com, as well as counselors and so much more. So if you need to reach out, if you just need to talk, or you need an ear without judgment, if you need someone to just listen, you can reach out to someone. It does not have to be me. Just reach out and touch someone so that they can touch you back. So I want you to know that talking to you today about this is really touching my heart, because like I said, I'm riding it out with you, right? I'm riding it out with you and preparing as a preparation. I'm preparing my emotions even now, right? My birthday is in a couple of days. My mom died a couple of days before my birthday. So it's kind of condensed, right? It's kind of like, I can feel the heaviness sometime, and I have to like kind of shake myself, to, my mother was very significant, shake myself to not allow those heavy feelings to rest on me, I try to think to do something that she would want me to do, and I could hear her in my mind saying, Sheila, it's okay, I'm good, do what you got to do what I taught you. I tap in to what she said to me. I always tap in to hear the strength my mother left with me. I tap in to continue to celebrate her life, remembering some funny stories, remembering the things she would want me to do, because sometimes in your own strength, you can't get out of this rut. So you got to tap in to that person, that loved one that you've lost. You got to hear their voice. You got to remember what you did, remember what they said, and live, because that's what they want you to do. And I know it's a process. So listen, remember, there is no right or wrong way to do the holiday season. There is no right or wrong way. I want you to know it's important to reach out for support. There is no right or wrong way, and it's okay to not be okay. You may feel awkward. You may feel all types of emotions right now, but you do not have to be perfect, just present. I want you to remain present. Please remain present. It is so important that when you're not feeling good, and we are all in our not yetness, and when you're not feeling good, just remain present. Don't draw back into a deep hole where then you can't dig yourself out or people can't get you out. And the enemy begins to speak in your head and you begin to spin out of control totally. I want you to know that there's hope for you. There's love for you, that I love you, that God loves you. And there's a brighter day at a place called there. Let's continue to walk it out together at that place called there as we navigate on this earth where all types of things show up at our door every single day. Unexpected things. Tomorrow is not promised to us, but yet we can make the moment happen. Make it a great day. Make it a great time for you. If you have children, look at your children and see the joy that's in front of you. That could trigger an emotional downfall within your heart. Look at something and tap into something that is fun and that can bring you out of a space, but stay present, stay present, stay present. And remember, there's no wrong way or right way to do this holiday season if you're grieving and that lost loved one has gone on. Oh my goodness. It's important to reach out and connect. It's okay to not be okay. But I'm asking you, please stay present. Just stay present. I love you so much. Remember that when nothing changes, nothing changes. So what do you have to do? I heard you. You have to keep it moving. Keep moving. I need you. I need you. I need you to keep moving. I know that it's rough, but I'm present. Class, are we present? Lift your hand if you're present. Sheila Ingram, are you present? Yes, teacher, I'm present. I'm asking you, are you present? Stay present, right? And allow yourself to feel what you feel and trust and believe that it will soon pass, that this too shall pass, and you will be able to breathe again and live again and love again and move again and grow again. Know that when nothing changes, nothing changes. I love you so much. And I know that you're going to grow just as I'm going to grow. And we're going to grow together. How about that? You want to grow together? I would like to grow with you because we're all walking it out at some point and sometime in shoe leather. So remember, stay well, and that I love you, love you, love you. All right? Ciao. See you soon. Bye bye. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Keep that smile on your face. Stay in touch with you. Hey. I'll see you again, okay? Bye-bye now.